All right, guys. Welcome back to the recap for today. I'll quickly go over what I explained yesterday. Um, I told you guys, depending on how we close, we would confirm upside today, and to see if we can trade longs. I told you yesterday in the recap, if we close above this and confirm this as manipulation, we will probably see the daily candle trade lower and then flip bullish and deliver to the upside. It was outlined in the recap. If you listen to it, it was pretty obvious in my opinion. Same as 4 hour structure, you guys can see this candle is a pretty good manipulation to the upside. If you put a fib on this, it's literally perfect. We open into a higher time frame PD array coming from another even higher time frame PD array, and then we build a wick on the daily, right? And we deliver higher during London session. This gives us structure to trade during New York session. The same goes for ES. It isn't as clear on ES as it is on NQ because you have those equal lows. To me, they don't really matter too much because we confirmed order structure. So I kind of ignore the lows. It doesn't really matter to me too much. Not every equal low is just a draw. It doesn't mean you should just blindly short to them. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. You can see we chopped between the NDOG and the NWOG, and the same thing happened on ES. So I hope for the market to open low, like I expected yesterday. We didn't really open low, but it's not as important. What I had marked mainly for the trade is this hourly range. Wait, it's up here because that's the new high we made during the session. And this 1 hour gap. We had the same gap on ES right here. We traded into it the first time. We didn't on NQ. On NQ, we actually traded to the 2 hour gap. And then you can see we get this move, right? We get the move to the upside, move to the downside. We miss or edge this gap, which to me was like engineer liquidity for later. I hope we will come back. Then we get this move back up, gets rejected by the NWOG. Same goes for ES. You can pretty much see ES taps the NWOG perfectly, and then we sell off. After that, I pretty much waited for 10 a.m. because that's what I said. I'm expecting 10 a.m. longs. If you check my channel, it was outlined. The bias was outlined, and what 10 a.m. would do was outlined too. So I just waited. 10 a.m. opened right here. And because I got asked so many times why not take something right here. If you look at higher time frame structure, where 10 a.m. opens into, right? There's no real point of looking for longs right here. It's not as probable to work out. Yes, you do have this 5-minute RB. At the same time, 10 a.m. opens higher into this 5-minute, right? And that's also where we got the move down. So if you took shorts here, I think it's a pretty good trade if you were short biased. I wasn't, so I didn't really bother to look at this too much. If you took anything in between here, like even this, where does this 1 minute rejection block come from, right? What does it reject? It's not like there's anything important this rejects. You're trying to catch the manipulation and not waiting for confirmation. You're not waiting for close above and then come back and the move. So 10 a.m., in my opinion, and that's how I trade it, needs to manipulate something important. It's like AMD, right? The candle opens, we move lower first to create the wick, we expand later, and then we form the top wick. Right here, there's no PD array to the left for a proper entry, right? So if you took this, you thought it was a good trade. How I would trade it, it's not. That's the main reason why I wouldn't long this and why I waited. You have to have high time frame structure where it makes sense for price to trade into and then expect a reaction. That's also why this right here, which is also a fine trade, right? It does not come from any higher time frame structure. We edge 0.5 of the hourly range. We edge the 1 hour. Yes, it worked and delivered, but the reason behind it is not as good as in this trade because you have higher time frame confluence. Same goes for this. Like there's 3 minute maybe. No, there's like a 3 minute RB coming from this wick RB that doesn't reject anything important. Same goes for this 5 minute, right? That's just how I see it. You can agree, you can disagree. I don't really care, to be honest. That's just how I trade. And I'll try to explain it for you to avoid losses like this. But yeah, coming back, you can see 10 a.m. on ES just dumped, which is perfect for longs later. Like there's no manipulation above. There's some manipulation above here because we tapped the 5 minute gap. And I waited for the move into this gap, and I knew the first sign of reaction we would get, I'm gonna long it. And that's where we got the 1 minute rejection block. I waited like this with the buy button for the candle to close. I wanted to see if it would flip bullish because it struggled to flip bullish. The moment it flipped bullish, I placed my order, dragged down my stop, and that's also when this candle spawned. Pretty much instant delivery, and that's where I TP'd. I could have held longer, but it was so fast that I couldn't really manage the trade. So the moment I was in the trade, the first thing I did was place the stop. I dragged my stop down, and then we instantly delivered to 10 a.m. and then I just dragged my TP up to this high because this is like my safe bet to TP at. Could have scaled here and then held runners to this high. I did not. I just wanted to get my trade. It's like 1K on the day, copy traded, so I don't really mind holding for more. And yeah, that's quite about it about the trade. I mean, we had some kind of news delivery, so that's lucky in some sort. The timing is actually insane on this, but yeah, if you look at ES, that's why ES is important. It tapped 1800. So when I saw this move down and I expected this gap to be traded to, I also knew ES would sweep this low and hopefully trade into the new day opening gap. This is something you learn with a lot of experience. You can pretty much guess where both indices will be. You know when NQ will be here, you can approximately guess where ES would be, as long as the correlation isn't completely off. That's also how you can predict forming SMTs. That's how I trade forming SMTs on rejection blocks, but that's another topic. So yeah, confluence was ES2 on top of what I already had here. And then you can see straight up delivery. I don't really think it would have been bad for this to retrace to 10 a.m. and deliver again, because to me expansion will be higher. But you can see we tapped 0.5 of the range and then we got the next move. So I don't really think price is coming back down. And even if so, I wouldn't be too interested in it because ES is in all of these NDOGs and NWOGs, and that's usually where price chops a lot. So I wouldn't really try and catch another trade, especially because it's close to 10 a.m. and the hourly will hopefully close above this high, which would mean 11 a.m. is likely to open low and expand again. Close above the NWOG would be great for a PM session if you guys want to trade that and then still look for longs. But yeah, that's about it. Also, we have a 50-minute gap overlapping the NWOG, so if we're really bullish, that's going to be a strong point of resistance. But yeah, that's the reason behind the trade, and that's also the reason why I waited. I wait for a high time frame structure PD raise to direct my trades. I don't randomly guess 1 minute RBs just because it's 1 minute RBs, right? You can always find a reason and say, okay, this was my manipulation, I'm gonna long this, but it's like 3 candles, it's 3 down close candles into what? Like a 1 minute liquidity sweep? That's not how 4-hour candles deliver. Yes, sometimes they do and they leave like little to no wick, but that's not a day or a trade where you want to be involved anyway. So this is something high 10 a.m. should deliver, and to me except there's no SMT. It's pretty much an A+ trade. But yeah, I think that's it. If there's any more questions about the recap today, just not DM, but ask in the questions channel. And I'll try and get back. I'm gonna hop off now and do something else, so maybe I won't be as active, but I'll try to get back later. And yeah, that being said, I hope you enjoyed the recap. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's recap, probably, if we don't just chop and have decent price action. And then also in Friday's recap, as long as price does something I can explain. So hope you enjoyed and have a good rest of your guys' day. Bye bye.